Did Steve have a will?
With that lawyer, yes.
So have you seen this will, or how did you know that there was this will and where the money was going? How were you?
I heard him talking to the lawyer.
This is Ina Knoyer, a woman convinced a massive multi-million-dollar inheritance is about to drop into her lap, and behaving like she's the only one smart enough to understand how it all works.
And then he left me a little bit to live off of, he said.
Okay.
But I think I just wanted a car and then give the rest to his ex-wives, because they seriously deserve it.
But she has no idea detectives are quietly collecting every contradiction she slips, from phantom lawyers to disappearing phones. And they've already caught her in lies she didn't realize were recorded.
When you find out this is supposedly poisoning now, what are your first thoughts?
Tell me that again?
Now they're about to confront her with the one thing she can't wiggle past: the body cam timestamps that blow her whole timeline to pieces.
I wish I was there! I wish I was with him every second of the day that day! I wish I watched every single... But I'm not his goddamn mom!
Shortly after 2:15 p.m. on September 5th, 2023, first responders in Minot, North Dakota were dispatched to an apartment complex after a woman reported that her long-term partner had suddenly collapsed and could no longer speak.
My husband's really sick. He got heat stroke yesterday, and now he's not waking up. And come on, wake up!
What's the phone number you're calling from?
I don't have a phone number. It's a phone that never got finished getting set up.
Okay. How old is he?
Didn't have it. He's 51 today. Babe! Come on, babe!
When paramedics arrived, they found a middle-aged man barely conscious, drenched in sweat, unable to stand, and repeatedly vomiting into a makeshift plastic jug on the bedroom dresser. The caller, Ina Knoyer, insisted he'd simply been drinking all day and needed sleep. She claimed he'd pushed himself too hard, worked in the garage, and now was suffering what she believed was heat stroke. But the moment medics pressed her for details, her story wobbled. Times shifted, explanations bent, and she gave them a version of events that didn't match what neighbors had already told dispatch. The man paramedics rushed to Trinity Hospital was Stephen Riley, a lifelong mechanic in his early 60s, known around Minot for fixing anyone's car, whether he got paid or not. He was the kind of guy who loaned tools he couldn't afford to replace, pulled over to help strangers on the highway, and still believed in giving people second chances long after life had burned him for it. Friends describe him as loyal to a fault, someone who stayed too long in relationships, trusted too easily, and worked himself into the ground for people who rarely respected him back. Steve wasn't wealthy, powerful, or dramatic. He was simply a tired man with a small apartment, a beat-up truck, and a life that revolved around helping others. At the apartment, investigators documented everything: the paint cans in the garage, the half-finished truck, the plastic pitchers of tea and water, the improvised urinal, and the cluttered living room where Stephen collapsed. Nothing looked like a crime scene until they compared what first responders saw to what Ina insisted happened the night before. According to Ina, Stephen had been drinking heavily, working nonstop, overheating, refusing food, insisting he wasn't drunk, then crawling half-naked to bed after a day of chaos involving friends, an airport trip, and plans to meet an attorney connected to a massive inheritance she said Stephen was finally about to receive. She painted herself as the caretaker: cooling towels, tea, water, constant monitoring, and she swore she knew exactly why he was sick. But her timeline was shifting every time she opened her mouth, and detectives already suspected her versions of events didn't survive basic physics, let alone the digital timestamps waiting to be checked. But as you're about to see, Ina's story will collapse the moment detectives compare her words to the footage and records she didn't know existed. Every confident claim she makes is about to collide headfirst with hard evidence. What detectives had, and what Ina didn't know, was body cam footage, time-stamped down to the second, capturing exactly what she told paramedics the moment they arrived. Her claims about when Stephen last drank, her claims about when he stopped drinking, her claims about where he was, who was present, and what she told his friends. Those statements were all locked in, preserved in high-definition video before she ever sat down in the interrogation room. And the timestamps didn't match the story she later told detectives. Not even close. This was the ace. Evidence that she contradicted herself before the interview even began, and detectives were ready to use every second of it.
So, like I said, we have been just talking to everyone that we had mentioned being around, like Billy, Wes, everybody that kind of just knew Steve, just to get an idea of like what was going on in his life, this inheritance, what people knew about it, and things like that. Let me just make sure my reader's off here. And so I guess that's just some of the questions, like we're gonna ask you, how long have you known him, how'd you meet him, things like that. So just to start though, I'll just get some basic info. Your middle name is Thea?
Yeah.
Thea? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Do you have a phone number, Ina?
No.
Okay.
And the phone I did have was either I dropped it on the way home from getting the job at the motel, or I was pickpocketed. One of the two, I don't know.
Okay. When did that happen?
Today's Wednesday?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Monday?
Okay.
Did I go? I can't remember if I walked down Monday.
What hotel are you working at?
I can't ever say it right.
Microtel? Microtel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Microtel.
Notice how she brings up her missing phone before detectives even ask. People hiding something love to pre-explain their excuses.
So you and Steve were in a relationship?
Yep.
Okay. How long had you guys been together?
13 years.
Okay.
Easter.
Okay. Where did you guys meet?
Homeless shelter. At an Easter
In
buffet dinner.
in North Dakota? Or
Washington.
In Washington. Okay.
Bellingham, Washington.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a little place right by the shelters that was given a Easter dinner lunch thing.
Okay.
Brunch.
When did you guys move to North Dakota?
He moved first to Williston. I guess the guy that was running the shelter on the men's side told him about it and got him a ticket.
Okay. For like oil fields?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he never got a job, and so he started working for KFC.
Okay.
And then he sent me a ticket and pretty much asked me to marry him.
Okay.
And I was out. Yeah.
When was that? Do you remember? What year? Or?
It was August. Because it was really hot in Washington and here.
Okay.
Because he had to get a motel because I was like overheating from the bus.
Okay.
And walking all the way to the motel.
Okay.
So.
Do you remember what year that was when you guys moved here, or when
2011?
you moved here? 2011. Okay.
I think. Yeah.
And you were living in Williston to start?
For a year, 2.5 years, I want to say.
Okay. And then you moved to Minot?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, renting a room was like $1,000.
So Ina obviously knows how someone innocent behaves when their partner may be dying. And yet, that's not what we're seeing now. Rather than panic or push for answers, she treats the whole thing like a personal inconvenience.
Okay. So at some point you guys move here and you live on the radar base, right?
Mhm. That was the biggest mistake of my life, was moving us out there.
To the radar base?
Yeah.
Well, how come?
He went to jail.
Steve?
Yeah.
Okay.
On his birthday, we took him out for his birthday, and I begged him to let someone else drive or to walk.
Okay.
And he wasn't drunk or nothing yet, but apparently he drank a lot more than I noticed.
Okay.
Because by the time he got to jail, that's when the alcohol was really hitting. And he got the max.
So you got a DUI?
Every time he goes to jail, he got the max.
Okay.
Maximum amount of time. It didn't matter if he was following the rules or not, but every time they took him to jail. And I could see it actually starting to hurt him.
Okay.
Inside, because he walked straight and narrow, trying to get a job to get his fine paid off.
Okay.
And then the sheriffs would come pick him up for something stupid.
Out at the radar base?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Lynn would get mad at him and then call and turn him in or whatever.
Okay.
For something Billy did. And that Billy did to her.
Okay.
And they take him off and say that he did it. And again, they would give him max, even though he was nowhere near when it happened.
Okay.
And I begged him to, stay away from him. We've even gotten into fights.
To stay away from Lynn?
Billy and Lynn. And
okay.
This is where Ina starts laying the groundwork. Stephen's drinking becomes the villain, and suddenly Billy Burkhead, one of Stephen's friends, and his partner Lynn get dragged into the story as her new suspects. She's throwing names around, hoping something sticks. But this little blame-shifting detour is going to come back and bite her hard.
So why would you want him to stay away from Billy and Lynn?
Because they're really, really nasty people.
Okay.
Like
how?
I said, I don't... Felonies, breaking into places.
Okay.
I knew they did more than pot, smoking more than pot. And I kept telling them, don't lie to me, they're smoking more than marijuana.
Mm-hmm. Did Steve smoke more than marijuana?
No, he's allergic to marijuana.
Okay.
Me.
Did he use other drugs?
Not for the longest time. He pretty much did not touch the stuff for the longest time until the last time Lynn turned him in for driving me to work.
Okay.
He borrowed their vehicle and apparently got him in jail.
Okay.
And he dropped me off at work, and on the way back he got pulled over and went to jail.
Okay. Was he using meth? Is that?
No.
Okay. So
No.
he didn't.
After that, after he got the max the last time.
Yep.
He's like, screw this. I'm done. I'm done playing by the rules. I'm done being the good guy.
Okay. I'm
gonna just do what I want and what I want.
Okay. So that's when you started using?
I think so.
Okay. How long ago was that, you think?
I say 5 years ago.
Okay.
And he actually quit. I want to say
Was he
6 months ago when he ran off with his crack whore. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
She's a hooker and she does crack.
Okay.
For crack.
Sure.
And he ran off to Devil's Lake with her.
Okay. Do you know her name by any chance?
I don't.
Okay.
It was on his phone.
Okay. Was she from Devil's Lake?
Yeah.
Okay.
But apparently she turned him into jail in Devil's Lake. So it should be on their records too.
Okay.
Her name. And then they shipped him back here after he did his time there. And then I went and saw him and said, so how is this working out for you?
Yeah.
How's the drug life working out for you? How's the felonies working out for you?
Right.
And that's pretty much when I said, well, you know, if you can write me out a contract, I'll bail you out. But no drugs, no felonies, you're going to get your ID, and you're going to get a real job.
Ina is painting herself as the hero here, the one nursing Steve back to health, the only person holding his life together. What she doesn't realize now is that something coming up is about to rip that version of the story to pieces.
He was pretty much getting clean from there.
Okay.
And he was actually looking for real jobs. He was doing odd jobs for people that were not.
In trouble?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Billy and Lynn.
Gotcha. Did you bond him out of jail? Is that
Yes.
Okay, how much was his bond? Do you remember?
It was my whole check.
Okay.
So I want to say 600,
Okay, so maybe about
700.
Okay. Was he gonna pay you back, or was that just
Yeah, I said if I caught you ever doing drugs again or committing felonies, you're gonna have to pay back every single cent.
Okay.
From leaving me on the side of the road, siphoning out gas for Lynn and Billy, you know,
Okay.
because going to commit felonies or going to a real job,
Right.
which one's more important? You know?
Did he end up getting a real job?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was, when he got the job at the fair, like I said, he started thinking even harder about going to get a real job.
Okay.
He was actually telling me he was going to go fill out an application for Papa Murphy's for the management position or supervisor position for Papa Murphy's.
Okay.
And he was going to get a real job if the lawyer guy wasn't there that day. And I said, you give me your word of honor that you're going to go get a real job. He's not here, because I don't really give a crap about the money. You're what's important. Look what it's doing to you. You can't even stand straight.
Ina talks about Steve's death with this flat, matter-of-fact tone. No shock, no grief, nothing you'd expect from someone who just lost their partner. She insists she doesn't care about money, but detectives are about to bring up an inheritance. And that's the moment this entire case starts to orbit around.
So when did he find out about this inheritance?
I want to say 3 months ago, 4 months ago.
Okay.
But it could have been sooner, because, you know, days kind of run into each other.
So what is the inheritance? I know you had shown that first day Lieutenant Dake and I came, you showed us kind of that letter that was on Steve's phone.
Mm-hmm.
Is that's the inheritance? That was the letter? Okay.
And he was talking to an actual lawyer, I guess,
Okay.
from London.
So this lawyer reached out to him and said he's...
I guess. I don't even know how he found out about it.
Okay.
If he found out about it, you know, doing a background check on him, seeing if anybody owes him money, you know,
Okay.
back pay, you know, lost check somewhere where he used to work somewhere. Honestly, I have no idea. It just appeared, you know, and he showed it to me one day.
The letter.
Yeah. And he wanted me to have a copy to make sure, you know, if something ever happened to him. And he was reading that the money wasn't cursed or whatever. He's like, every single person that went for the Riley money over there,
Yeah.
even this 21-year-old, had passed away.
What do you mean? I guess the inheritance had been left for other people too, or...
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, is it cursed? And people that go after it are dying? He's like, I don't know, maybe. I was like, well, then don't go after it. How silly is that, you know?
What Ina unfortunately doesn't know is that the inheritance isn't cursed. It's actually something far worse. For her, at least.
How much money was it?
It ended up, it was supposed to be 17 million
Okay.
and some odd hundreds.
Okay.
17,500,000, something like that.
Okay.
But with all the properties sold off, it ended up being 37 million.
So there was cash and then properties were sold.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know this was from a family member?
And I gave it to Brian, the paperwork
Okay.
that I printed out to make sure, you know, I have some, just in case something did happen to him, I could give it to his son to track it down or whatever.
So
I gave all the
who
information
was it supposed to be coming from? Who was the family member?
God, without his phone, Marcus something Riley,
Okay.
I want to say.
Was that a brother or
Uncle.
That was an uncle. Okay. Did he live
In Ireland?
Okay. Had he ever talked about Marcus before? Did he even know he had an uncle? Marcus?
I don't know.
Okay.
Honestly. He said he had family all over.
Okay.
So I honestly...
So the paperwork that you gave Ryan, didn't say anything in there about the family member or anything like that? Or did
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Ryan has all that paperwork now?
He should have it on his phone.
Okay. How did you send it to him?
I thought you guys gave him his phone. Steve's phone.
You said that you gave Ryan all this paperwork.
The
did
property
you give
from
it?
Wes.
Okay, how did you... Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
not this information on this inheritance.
No.
Does Ryan have anything about this inheritance? Does he have any paperwork on that? So what paperwork did you give Ryan? I was under you said that you were going to give him paperwork in case something happened to Steve, that you were going to give him
the property, that he was buying from Wes. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. When I had my phone, I showed Ryan.
Ryan is Steve's son, and Wes is a longtime family friend who always seemed to have some new plan for Steve. Ina brings them up like they're background noise. But there's a reason the detectives keep circling back. Wes had a proposition for Steve. Something about property and a mysterious inheritance that Steve was supposedly about to receive.
Okay.
Okay? And Steve was buying Wes's property. And I gave Ryan the paperwork for that.
Okay.
Okay?
Gotcha. How much was the property?
What I read on it, it was 1,500,000.
So he was going to buy that property with inheritance money, not
Yeah.
now. Okay. Okay. And that paperwork Ryan has.
Yeah. But I can't even show you
Okay.
because, like I said, I don't know what the heck happened to my phone the day I got the job at the motel. This is the day I lost my phone, or it was lifted, one of the two.
Okay.
Because it was in my back pocket when I was walking, and when I sat down on the couch, I realized it wasn't there anymore.
But it will turn out that the entire inheritance thing is a scam. Ina sounds confident and self-assured now, but she's going to be duped in more ways than one.
So why don't we talk about the weekend that Steve ended up becoming sick and passing? What happened that weekend? What was he doing? That was Labor Day weekend.
Mostly drinking beer. The night before, he wanted to get a good night's sleep. But,
He was drinking.
Chad.
Hang on. He was drinking beer which night, or was that the whole weekend?
That's pretty much the whole weekend.
Okay.
He got a case of beer from Wes and some food from the Max food bank that Wes brought him, and a case of beer for his birthday. And then Link brought him a case of beer and Fireball for his birthday.
When was his birthday?
But nobody showed up on the week of his birthday.
Okay.
So they started showing up when they thought the lawyer was going to show up.
Okay.
Like Lucas.
Ina keeps anchoring everything to Steve's drinking, but the toxicology won't back her up. Because what shows up in Steve's system isn't just alcohol, it's antifreeze. Now, detectives move back to this mysterious inheritance and a mysterious lawyer facilitating a money transfer that will never happen.
So, I might go back to the money real quick.
Okay.
He tells you, hey, somebody just reached out to me about this money, and I have a large inheritance I'm gonna get. Where was the money? Where was the money supposed to be, I guess?
In the bank.
Okay.
Whatever bank I showed you.
That
area.
Swiss bank,
Yeah.
or a bank, okay. So it was foreign, the uncle's foreign, and the money is in a foreign account.
Yeah.
And so how was he gonna get the money? What was the plan?
Well, the lawyer guy wanted to give him to get a bank account.
The lawyer was...
Originally.
Okay, so he wanted to
So he could
get a
just
bank
deposit it into
Okay.
his bank account.
Okay,
It couldn't be nobody else's bank account,
sure.
according to the lawyer.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I can give you a few bucks, because I think I was just broke my ankle working for Arby's. So I told him I can give you a couple bucks.
Okay.
No, I got my tax return.
Okay.
Tax return.
So what do you, and that's to put money in it, to open an account?
For him.
Okay.
In his name only.
Okay. So he needed a couple bucks to open the bank account.
Yeah.
You gave him some money. So he did open a bank account?
I don't think he did.
Okay.
Because that's when the lawyer said I need to come and physically come, see you, to write over the name or whatever,
Okay.
transfer over the money.
Did you ever hear Steve talking to the lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. Did they talk over the phone?
Yeah.
And through message?
Yeah.
Okay. Was the lawyer foreign as well? Was he?
English.
He was English, okay.
Yeah.
Was he from England? Or
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he wasn't from the U.S. He was from somewhere else. Okay.
Mhm.
Do you remember his name? Did he ever mention
Richard.
his name? Richard. Okay.
We'll soon see the chaos this Richard will cause.
Richard initially wants Steve to open a bank account. Do you remember when that was? How long ago that was? Roughly.
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, was that like within a month, or was that earlier in the year?
Earlier in the year.
Okay, so it's been a little bit. And then
Around the same time I did my taxes.
okay. So springtime-ish, maybe. Okay. And Steve, we don't know if he ever ended up getting a bank account. We're not sure.
I'd only sent him all his information, his Social
Okay.
Security, because I ended up getting his first ID. No, I paid to get his birth certificate so he can go get his ID and his Social Security.
Okay. So he was going to be sending this lawyer all of his personal information.
Yeah, and Link was there saying maybe I shouldn't have said it was the Richard scam that's been going around,
Mm-hmm.
and he might have done it to himself, and that's what
Okay.
I was like, but he just went through that with his dad. His dad shot himself in the head with a shotgun.
Okay.
And I don't think he would want his kids, to go through what he went through.
Okay.
But then I could be wrong, he didn't want to face the fact that it was a scam.
But there were still arrangements that this lawyer was gonna come, right?
Yeah.
So he was still probably under the impression.
And he was excited to go look for a job even if he didn't show up.
Okay.
So, he was already planning ahead for once in his life,
Okay.
instead of the spur of the moment
So this
type thing.
tax time, he's supposed to get a bank account, but then maybe that changes, and then the lawyer says, I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to
I
come
don't
there."
know. He kept going to his friends
Okay.
and talking through his friends to him.
The lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay. Who Steve was talking to?
Billy, Lynn, Kelly, and I don't know who else after that.
When you say he was talking to his friends, do you mean like for advice? Or?
No, when he smashed his phone or something or lost his phone, he'd actually talked to his lawyer through his friends' phones
Okay.
instead of an actual real lawyer, like I asked him to. If that makes any sense.
Now, during this interrogation, Ina is aware that the whole thing was a scam. But according to court documents, she had no idea at the time. She's now trying to cover her tracks. She comes across a know-it-all who saw the whole thing coming. But her actions leading up to Steve's death have all the markers of a sucker duped into believing a classic scam.
Not at all.
I emailed him a couple times when Steve asked me to, can you tell him that I lost my phone or broke my phone? But the lawyer would not contact me back
Okay.
personally. That I'm his girlfriend, wife type thing.
Yep.
And he would like to contact you. Is there a way to contact you?
And then
Through
he-
legal means,
Yeah.
like inheritance lawyer or something here.
Okay.
But he never, all of a sudden the email disappeared. Like it didn't exist.
The address? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How long ago was that? Do you remember? That pretty
Pretty much when I told him he was in the hospital.
Okay.
It wouldn't go through Steve's phone.
Okay.
I told him, well, Steve's really sick in the hospital. I'll contact you through another lawyer
Okay.
to get a hold of his sons, because I know his sons were left most of it. And that's pretty much when the emails wouldn't go through anymore. It was saying it never existed.
Okay. Did Steve have a will?
With that lawyer, yes.
With this lawyer, the
Jared.
Richard?
Yes.
Okay. So Steve wrote up a will with
Yes.
this lawyer. Okay. Do we know
Where
the
he would
will
want
is?
it to go to, and
Okay.
most of it was supposed to go to his sons and his two sisters.
Okay.
And then he left me a little bit to live off of, he said.
Okay.
But I think I just wanted a car and then give the rest to his ex-wives, because they seriously deserve it.
Okay.
That's what I told Ryan. If he left me anything, just get me a car. That's all I ask.
Okay.
And then give the rest to your mom and Cheryl, because I don't want to see it.
So, have you seen this will, or how did you know that there was this will, and where the money was going? How were you?
I heard him talking to the lawyer.
You heard Steve talking to the lawyer about it, making the arrangements.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was actually looking forward to bringing his sisters some of the money too.
Were they close?
No,
Okay.
no. But they were Riley's, for what he said,
Okay. Was he close?
He was
with
gonna
any
play
family?
a mean Ed McMahon game. Joke.
Oh.
Big
Like a-
cardboard box. He was gonna hire somebody to take a big cardboard box, saying you're a millionaire, and then give him $1 while he's laughing around the corner.
Oh.
That's what he wanted. that's what he was looking forward to do, and I'd actually like to see it now.
Okay.
You know, I thought it was mean at the time. I was like, that's really mean.
So he was estranged from his family.
Yeah.
He didn't have a good relationship with them. Okay.
No.
So he was gonna
Yeah.
play a joke on it, like a
Yeah.
okay.
Ina rolls out this story where Steve had no family, where she was the only one who cared whether he lived or died. Yet this is another whopper. In court, Steve's sister and his son showed up, grieving, furious, and very much present. His sister called Ina a heinous person with no soul, and his son talked about trying to rebuild a relationship with his dad before she took him away. That's not a man with nobody. It's a man with people who loved him.
So the lawyer says I'm gonna come Thursday or Friday, and then what happens? Doesn't show?
Doesn't show.
Okay. No, did he email again or just?
He emailed that he was going to show up. First it was Friday,
Okay.
and then the 3 different hours. Was it 3 different hours? 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 8 o'clock. Saturday when was it Saturday? You got sick? Yeah.
Sunday.
Sunday?
Because
Was
it
it
was a
Sunday?
holiday weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Sunday. Yeah, you're right.
So Sunday, the lawyer, now the arrangements are for sure he's going to be here, supposed to be in the morning at 11, you said?
Yeah.
And then,
And then 2 o'clock.
Okay. So did he call and say, I have no, why didn't he come at 11, did he say?
I don't know.
Okay. Excuse me, I had tickle.
I don't know. Then it was 8 o'clock.
So then 2 p.m.
that was
came.
pretty much it.
2 p.m. comes along and he didn't show up again, or did he
wasn't
email?
even there at the airport.
Okay.
So
And then again, and now it's supposed to be 8 p.m.
Yeah.
He's coming in. Is he coming in on a regular flight? Like these are?
I think so, but I wasn't the one directly talking to him. Steve was.
Okay.
I
So did
think he
Steve
was talking through Wes at that point.
Okay. The lawyer?
I think, yeah. I'm not sure, 100% sure if it was Wes he was talking to, this guy through Wes or not. But that's...
But not Steve. He's not talking through Steve?
No, he was talking to Steve through somebody else.
Right,
like
so
Wes.
how come he wasn't talking to Steve?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. That's what I tried to find out, you know, when I emailed him and found out the email wasn't real.
Okay.
Or it wasn't discontinued, or...
So when we're talking about Sunday at 11,
Yeah.
did Steve go to the airport at 11?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Wes's son stayed behind at the airport. Because that's when Steve started getting really, really sick. And I kept begging him to let me call the ambulance. And he's like, no, I'll be fine with some sleep.
Detectives are locking down the timeline here. Who was with Steve? Who drove him? Who claims they saw what? And when everything started going sideways. This is classic pressure by precision. They're trying to pin her to exact movements before the airport run and the moment Steve's condition turned serious. And now, every time Ina tweaks a detail, they note it. Because contradictions have a funny way of stacking up.
So at 11 o'clock in the morning Sunday, the lawyer's supposed to show up, but Steve didn't go to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because he was really sick.
Okay. And then, someone else went in his place? What were they gonna do?
I don't know. It was Wes's son.
Okay. Do you know his name? What's his son?
I don't.
How did he know about the airport? Or any of them?
Because of the property. That's all Wes wanted, was the money for the property. Because apparently, I'm thinking there's something really wrong with the property, like taxes or He's getting sued really badly for sexual harassment.
When you talk about Wes wanting money for you're talking the property, you're talking about the radar base?
Yeah.
Okay.
And another small property. I gave Ryan that paperwork. That's the paperwork I gave him. And I told him to vet it, you know, get a lawyer and do the background check that I told Steve to do.
So how would Wes know that? Like, how is Wes going to meet this lawyer? Because Wes has nothing. He's not Steve.
I don't know.
Okay.
So I was
did you
wondering
ask
the same
Steve?
thing.
Like, why is?
Yeah, why is Wes involved in this?
Yeah. What did Steve say?
He's like, oh, it's just for the property. That's all he wants is the money for the property.
Was Wes trying to sell the property?
To Steve, yeah.
Did he approached him about selling it, or does he just have it for sale, or?
It's been up for sale for a very long time.
Okay.
That's why I wanted it vetted and background checked.
Now here is where the timeline starts getting tangled and things start to unravel.
That Wes's son went there at 11.
No, that was 11 o'clock at night.
Okay, I thought that was Sunday at 11, 2, and 8, you said.
Oh.
So you said there was a morning one.
Yes.
And that was at 11.
Yes, that's the one where he rode his bike to.
Okay, so that's not when
He
Wes was
physically
there.
rode there on his bike.
Okay.
At the 11 o'clock one. Wes drove us.
Well, hang on now. So Steve rode his bicycle to meet the lawyer
Yeah.
at 11.
Yeah.
And then came back to the apartment and said he didn't show up.
Yep.
Did he say the guy emailed him or called him or anything? Did he get anything?
He said he got an email that he was supposed to be there
Okay.
around 2 o'clock.
So it got changed from 11 to 2 now.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens at 2 o'clock?
Everybody's pretty much there.
When you say everybody.
Billy,
Okay.
Conrad, Link,
Okay.
and Wes.
And they're at your apartment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Waiting for 2 o'clock.
Okay. And what happens then?
I finished helping him get dressed. I put him a belt on. And he got into Wes's car.
Okay.
And they stopped at the gas station at Senex for some iced tea.
This is at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's when he started getting really sick and really wobbly. And I kept begging him to go to the hospital. But Wes, I guess, talked Steve out of going to the hospital. And it was just heat stroke.
It's now clear that Ina is passively trying to place the blame on Wes without explicitly saying Wes did it. It's a classic move. Float a villain, but don't commit to the accusation. Suspects do this when they want police to connect the dots for them, without getting caught holding the marker.
Where at the airport?
We went to not the main airport, but the smaller one first.
Okay.
Because Wes and his son were sitting there. I mean, Wes's son was sitting there.
Okay.
Waiting for Wes and Steve. And said this was the only airport coming in right now at 2 o'clock.
Okay. And
That's when he passed out. Steve passed out for the first time.
okay. Is he in the car?
Mm-mm.
He's outside.
Yeah. He was standing on the side of the car, and I turned around and he's on the ground.
Where is that? Are you guys like parked in the parking lot or?
Yeah, the small airport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess it's called the charter
Okay.
airport. I don't know.
Like for the private flights?
Yeah.
Okay. So Steve is on the ground. Is he breathing?
Yes.
Okay. Is he awake?
We woke up
Okay.
after I stuck some ice cubes on. I stuck some ice cubes in my hands and I stuck it on his neck right here, and that's pretty much when he woke up and started spinning around, going, "What the hell happened?" And then I tried to put some ice cubes in his armpits, you know, cool him down even faster, hopefully.
Okay.
And that's when I started begging, "Can I please call the ambulance, take you out, ambulance?" And Wes started saying, there's a ambulance bay right here, fire department ambulance.
Okay.
I was like, I just want him to go to the hospital. He's like, but there's an ambulance bay right there.
Yeah.
Who said that?
Wes.
Wes.
Yeah. And his son was saying, oh, it's just heat stroke. My wife just went through it this morning. I was like, nah, that's not good.
Ina is building a version of events that collapses the moment you line it up next to what detectives already know. She insists Steve was just casually drinking that weekend. Yet body-worn camera footage shows her telling paramedics he'd been drinking until 5 in the morning. She claims she thought he was suffering from heat stroke. But her own timeline shows she Googled antifreeze symptoms hours before she claims any doctor mentioned poison. And she tries to place Steve at a walk-in clinic that morning, even though investigators have time-stamped proof he never left the apartment. Every new detail she adds pushes her story further from reality, widening the gap police are quietly tracking in real time.
But
So what do you think is wrong with Steve at this point?
Huh?
Like, why, what do you think is wrong with Steve? Why is he sick?
I thought they were right. It was heat stroke.
Okay.
Because he wasn't puking yet. And it was like, finally kind of sleeping in and out. You know,
Steve was?
He'd sleep for a little bit, and then he'd wake up, drink some water, go pee, sleep on the couch, wake up.
Okay. Was he complaining that he wasn't feeling well?
No,
He didn't say anything about it.
no, he just, like the last time he had it wasn't heat stroke.
Okay.
I actually called the ambulance last time he was this coherent.
Okay.
How long ago was that?
It was that, I want to say 6 months, but it could have been longer. But he accidentally grabbed on to a cup. It was when he was working on Jim's car. I ended up having to call the ambulance. He wouldn't let me, but I called it anyways. And he kind of like finally confessed he accidentally drank some kind of fluid.
And that was about 6 months ago, you said?
It could have been longer.
Okay.
Could have been a year ago. Everything runs with my brain injury. Everything kind of smushes and you know.
Did he say what he might have accidentally drank?
I don't know. I don't remember. It had to be on the medical records.
Okay.
Because the doctor came to me and said, "Did you know he drank this by accident?" I was like, I had no clue.
The doctor said what they thought he had drank.
Not back then.
No.
No.
Okay. Okay.
And then that he accidentally drank it. Are you sure he didn't do it deliberately? Type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't think he's suicidal.
Right.
I could see him doing it on a dare against somebody, you know.
Narrative bridge. Ina brings up a mysterious fluid without even being prompted. When the other detective comes back, she needs some answers, because this isn't adding up.
How would he accidentally drink fluid from
I don't know.
a dog?
I don't know. That's what I said.
What was he acting like when that happened?
He was stumbling around, acting like he had heat stroke type thing.
Okay. Are you familiar with heat stroke? Have you seen people have heat stroke before?
Since I moved here, yeah.
Okay.
A couple times, but not really.
Okay. So, I mean, I guess I'm just wondering, I mean, if somebody were to say to me they were these are the signs of heat stroke, I wouldn't know. I have not experienced anybody with heat stroke. So I'm just wondering how you
dizziness,
would know. Okay. How do you know all that, though?
Control. I Googled it.
Okay. When did you Google that?
The first time I ended up calling an ambulance.
So like 6 months to a year ago?
Yeah. It'll mimic poisoning, I read. This time I read.
What do you mean this time?
Because the doctor said it looked like he drank antifreeze or had antifreeze in his system. So I Googled it and it had the same symptoms as heat stroke.
Okay. When did you Google that?
The day he was in the hospital. The day he went.
Okay.
And the day when I finally got there and found out that
Who told
he
you?
ingested something.
Who told you?
The doctor.
What doctor?
I don't. Same doctor that treated me with my bug bites.
What hospital?
Trinity.
The ER doctor or?
Yeah. He said it was just ingrown hairs and a headache.
Okay. What this doctor's name? So he treated you and Steve. You don't know his name?
No.
When did he?
It's all my paperwork at home.
Okay.
My paperwork for my ingrown hairs and little headache.
Okay. So this doctor, what does he say? How does he know that there's something that?
Because apparently he did a blood test by the time I got there. It took me about 2 hours to walk there, but I got picked up I was almost there to the hospital.
Who picked you up?
A friend of Steve's, an older lady that he knew.
What was her name?
Lindsay? Laura?
Ina is stitching together a timeline that falls apart the second you tug on it. She says Steve must have accidentally drank something, then swears it looked exactly like heat stroke, then claims a Trinity doctor told her it was antifreeze, then insists that's when she Googled poisoning symptoms. But her own story puts that Google search hours before any supposed doctor ever said a word. And detectives already know the kicker. No ER doctor told her anything about antifreeze. The tests weren't back, and her entire timeline only works if it runs in reverse. Every detail she adds pushes her farther away from the reality investigators have already locked down.
Okay. So you're saying all this happens at 2, but he went back to the airport at 8 at night? Is that right?
This is the next day.
Right, but I understand that's the next day, but where I left off basically was we're at the airport still at 2. So I'm just wondering, Steve went back to the airport at 8 o'clock that night, 6 hours later.
No.
Steve did not go back to the airport at 8.
Wes's son was there.
Wes's son has been at the airport every time that this flight is going to come in. He's been there at 11, he's been there at 2, and now he's there at 8.
No, he was there at the 11 one.
You said he was.
No, the 2 o'clock one. I don't know if he was there at the 11 o'clock one, though. Because I wasn't there. He rode his bike to the 11 o'clock one.
Okay. Okay. So I'm confused because I wrote that he didn't go to the airport because he was really sick at 11 and Wes's son went.
No. He rode his bike to the 11 o'clock one.
Okay.
That's why I thought he had heat stroke.
Okay.
Because he was drinking beer all day, he was working in the garage, he was spray painting his truck, with the doors and the windows closed, and barely drinking any water. And he rode his bike there and back, and I figured it just
Okay.
They were right, that was heat stroke by the time Wes was taking us to the 2 o'clock one. Does that answer that?
Yeah, I'm just,
That's why I was thinking that his son was right. That Wes and his son was right, it was heat stroke.
so nobody goes to the airport at 8 o'clock at night? Is that right?
His son, Wes's son
Wes'
was there,
son,
yeah, at the 8 o'clock one, waiting.
Am I wrong that I'm understanding this the way I'm understanding it?
No, she did backtrack when we got times off. She did come back and say that Steve rode his bike at 11 a.m. and then rode back home because the lawyer was a no-show.
Okay.
Got an email saying that he should be there at 2 p.m.
Everybody goes at 2.
Everybody goes at 2.
But I have an 8 p.m. here. 11, 2, and 8 p.m.
Yeah. And then she's saying that at 8 p.m. nobody went up there but Shannon.
Okay. What's his son?
Correct. Or yeah.
Okay.
Steve was too sick at that time, he was laying on the couch.
Detectives start casually restating Ina's timeline to each other. The who, the when, the airport trips. And it instantly sounds crooked. Just hearing her own story played back in order exposes the cracks she's been trying to paper over.
So no one knows who's communicating with the lawyer, but somebody is because he says he's coming back at 8, and so somebody goes there at 8, right?
Yeah. That's pretty much when I got mad.
You got mad at who?
Wes.
Okay.
I was
And
like,
that's
I
where
don't
you
really give a
kicked
damn
Wes
about
out?
the lawyer showing up at now.
Okay.
I told him I don't give a damn if the lawyer shows up with the money or not. I'll contact you through a lawyer when I give him the paperwork for the property. And when he gets the money for the property, we will go through the lawyer to give it to you.
Okay.
From here on out. That's what I said to Wes. If he gets his inheritance. And I basically kicked him out from there.
Because when Steve was at home for the 8 p.m. flight, laying on the couch sick, Wes was there with you guys, and it was just Wes at that point?
Yes.
Okay. So after you kicked Wes out?
I started rapping. That's when Steve stripped down naked, pretty much.
Okay.
Half naked. And started crawling on his hands and feet to the bed. I was like, babe, just let me call the hospital. He's like, no, I just need some sleep. But I ain't drunk. I ain't drunk.
Was he drinking?
Yeah, the beer. All day.
How much do you think he had to drink?
Almost a whole case.
From what time to what
There was
time?
3 beers left. I looked in the case.
And when you say case, you mean a 24-pack?
Yep.
Of what?
Cooler's Light.
Regular size cans?
Yeah, 12 ounce.
So he drank almost a whole case of beer from what time to what time?
I have no clue.
You don't know when he started drinking?
Pretty much when he got out of bed.
Do you remember what time that was?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
It was early. The birds were chirping and
Okay.
it was barely daylight.
What time did he stop drinking?
Right before he went to take a shower to meet up with his lawyer with Wes and me.
At 2?
At 2.
So he consumed almost a case of beer in...
Oh, he can drink more than that. I've seen him drink a couple cases.
But on that day...
Yeah, it was a case of beer.
From probably 6 or 7 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon, so 5 to 6 hours? Does that sound right?
Probably.
Okay.
Detectives clock something Ina keeps slipping into the story. Steve had been drinking all day. They won't challenge her yet. They just pocket that detail like a loaded round. And before long, they'll use it to stop her dead in her tracks.
So then, after you kick Wes out, he's the last one there, right? It's just you and Steve that night? And what happens? Steve, you said he crawls to the bedroom and goes to sleep?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What time was that at? Roughly. What time you kicked Wes out?
It was around that 8 o'clock
Okay.
appointment to meet his lawyer. Because Wes just got off the phone with his son.
Okay. So Steve went to bed?
Yeah. Well, he wanted me to help him to the shower, but I couldn't lift him up. And I was like, well, I can wrap you up in some cold towels. And he's like, yeah, please. And I have to pee. So that's when I pretty much came up with one container with iced tea, one container with ice water, and one container for his pee.
Okay.
Because I couldn't get him to the bathroom.
What kind
And
of
he
containers
started
were they?
using the one container, a juice container, for his urinal, and I kept the other 2 in the living room with ice water.
Okay. Just like cups,
And I kept
glasses,
switching them out.
bottles.
You know, he'll take a drink of tea, and then after tea, I made him drink more water than tea. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I soak his towels, re-soak his towels in cold water from the sink, and wrap them up. His arms and his innards here. And at first he could tolerate it between his legs, and then he started getting too cold down there.
Okay.
So
Detectives know Ina is piling details on top of each other like she's trying to bury the truth under her own words. Now, their strategy is simple. Break her story into clean, bite-sized pieces and make her account stand on its own legs. And once each piece starts wobbling, the whole thing begins to collapse.
So, when you find out this is supposedly poisoning now, what are your first thoughts?
tell me that again?
You said the doctor told you it was he was maybe poisoned.
Yeah.
What is the first things that come to your mind when you hear that?
This is not what I'm hearing. I don't know. This can't be real. How the hell would that happen?
Okay.
Pretty much those words were running through my head, and that's basically what came out of my mouth. Can you tell me that one more time, doctor?
Okay. And then what? Do you think of anyone in particular?
That's when his friend, Laura, says it's okay. We'll find out more when.
So she was there when the doctor said it?
Yeah.
Okay.
She heard the doctor say that?
Yeah.
You don't know Laura's last name or anything?
No.
Do you know where she lives?
No. I didn't know her that well, just the one time she rode her bike and she was overheating and she needed a place to cool down.
Okay. So after the doctor says this, then are you thinking like eventually like who could have done this? Who would have done that to Steve?
That's what I was saying. I was like, this can't be real. I mean.
Okay. But I know you had said to me you thought Wes or Billy would do it.
Yeah.
Why would you think that?
Those are nasty people.
Okay. But what would they gain from Steve dying?
Wes? he pretty much lose everything, so no, I could see him doing something sexual towards him,
Okay.
but not drugging him.
Okay.
Billy or Conrad, yes.
What would they gain?
Seeing Steve not getting his inheritance,
Okay.
stealing his truck, because Billy's pretty much every time him and Lynn put Steve in jail, they actually stole stuff out of his truck or his vehicle that
Okay.
Steve's owned. Just before we moved into the apartment, Steve had a Toyota 4Runner.
Mm-hmm.
All that was wrong with it was the tires were flat.
Okay.
And every single part on that Toyota was gone.
Okay.
The engine, it was up on blocks behind the townhouses out at the old Raider base. The engine was missing. Underneath was missing, I mean, it was stripped. And he didn't even give Steve a week to come get it.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't even a couple days. We were in the apartment. He went out there to go get it. And
So what would they get
That's
out of
when
it?
you
Though?
found-
Getting the truck? That's all they would get? And the fact that then Billy would, I mean, Steve.
I don't know. I don't know how
Okay.
Billy thinks. He's messed up in the head. They're nasty people, I'm telling you. But that's the only...
I'm not doubting that they're nasty. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to wrap my head around who
But
would
then
gain
again,
something
I don't see
from
him
this.
really doing that. I could see Lynn more, and she wasn't even there.
Okay.
She's more of the I'll poison you type person,
Okay.
Detectives ask Ina her perspective on who could have done it, but in their minds, it's already quite clear. Court documents state several friends of the couple told investigators that Riley planned to end the relationship after he received the money, and that Knoyer was aware of his intentions in the days leading up to the planned meeting with the attorney.
So as far as you and Steve,
So that's why I'm thinking maybe Steve did it to himself because he couldn't face Wes, his sons, that the inheritance wasn't real, it was a hoax. He finally realized it was a joke on him or, it wasn't real.
Do you
Maybe.
think the money's real?
I hope for Steve's sake it was. But it was too fishy for me. And yeah, it was funky town, kind of like west of the property.
Yeah.
It's too weird.
Did Steve ever say when he got the money that he was going to leave? He was going to go anywhere? He was going to leave you? He was going to give you some money and be done? Anything like that?
He was off and on, yeah, when we got into fights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was he going to make sure you got money?
No.
Okay.
Because I kept telling him I don't want it.
Okay.
Other than the money you bled for me from making me walk in 55 below, that's what I made him promise me, give back to me when I bailed him out of jail.
Okay.
But I didn't even want that no more when we got into fights. I was like, nope, I don't want it.
But you said you wanted a car.
Yeah.
So were you hoping that he'd at least give you some money for a vehicle?
No.
Okay.
No. I could put myself, I can, he knows I can survive without him.
According to multiple witnesses, Steve was planning to give Ina a cut of this imaginary inheritance. And detectives later determined she poisoned him on the very day he was supposed to meet with this lawyer, because she thought she'd still get paid as his common-law wife. The problem? North Dakota doesn't even recognize common-law marriage. She built a murder plan on a legal concept the state doesn't have.
So, as far as money goes, I mean, I know we've talked to a lot of people, and everyone said that you and Steve, basically it was, you said, you guys were basically married. You had been together for a long time.
That's what's, yeah.
Were you expecting that if something, I mean, you would get
No.
money?
No.
Okay.
Like I said, I would have given it to his ex-wives because they deserve it way more than I did.
Okay.
Because they were actually married.
Okay.
And I understand where they are coming from now. You know, because Cheryl stabbed him, I guess.
Is that one of his ex-wives?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's his first ex-wife. She literally stabbed him. Melissa won't talk to him at all. Put a restraining order against him.
Okay.
So, I don't know. But I understand where they come from now, you know. He's so stubborn and pig-headed.
Okay.
When he gets in that mindset, I'm gonna do what I want, and nobody's gonna say different type thing. He gets into that type thing.
Okay.
I don't care what nobody says. But that's when he loses faith and everything.
Okay.
That's how he deals with depression. Not like, I don't think he'd actually kill himself. I think he'd dive deeper in like Billy type areas.
So you don't think Steve would actually do anything to himself? You don't think he would drink?
If
Something
he
like
did, like I said, I could see him doing it as a dare.
Okay.
You know, I bet you $1 you wouldn't drink that.
Okay.
Type kid behavior type stuff. Like I'm a teenager still in his head. But other than that,
Were you guys planning on moving out of the apartment at all?
yep.
When was that going to happen?
The second he got his money, that's
Okay.
what he wanted to do. Drop
Where-
off his truck
Where
to
were you
his
guys
son.
going to move?
We weren't going to move anywhere yet. We were going to drop off his truck to his son,
Mm-hmm.
and then we were going to go to Vegas. He kept going back and forth from Vegas to Ireland. He wanted to get married in Ireland at first, and then he wanted to get married in Vegas. Ireland, Vegas, Ireland, Vegas.
Okay.
And
Were you guys getting ready to move though?
vacation.
You were getting ready.
Steve wanted to go on a long road trip vacation type thing.
So no, you were not getting ready to move?
Yeah.
Okay.
He wanted to put cameras in the apartment, security cameras from like SRT,
Okay.
and in the garage, and he wanted to go on a road trip.
What Ina doesn't know is that detectives are about to drop the 2 pieces of evidence that make her entire story implode. First, they've already reviewed the paramedic body cam footage. The same footage where Ina herself says Steve had been drinking until 5 in the morning, the exact opposite of what she's claiming in this room. And second, investigators already verified he never went to any walk-in clinic. The timestamps don't lie. But Ina does. She has no idea the truth is about to hit her head on.
So on the morning that you end up calling the ambulance in the afternoon, what is Steve doing overnight? Is he sick? Is he sleeping? What's happening?
Back and forth. He wakes up having to go pee.
Okay.
I bring him the urinal. He pee.
So he's communicating with
Yeah.
you. Okay.
And then I empty the pee out,
Mm-hmm.
and I give him the water jug at that point.
Okay. Is he drinking alcohol?
No, just water and tea all night, that night. He doesn't really like water, so that's why I had to mix it tea and water, you know. Give him the tea first while he's peeing, and then I put the tea up and give him the water.
Okay.
And then while I'm emptying the juice, the tub of pee
Mm-hmm.
in the toilet, he was drinking the water.
Okay.
He could hold his head up. He could, hold the container.
He could or could not?
He could.
Okay.
Yeah. And he said he'd be just fine.
He said he would be fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just let him sleep a couple more hours. And really gotta get going.
Okay. So I just have a lot of concerns here, okay, and I'm just gonna be honest with you. You told the paramedics when they were there that morning or afternoon that he had been drinking till 5 in the morning, that he had been consuming alcohol. That's on body cam. Okay, you said he was drinking all day the day before and that he drank his last drink at 5 a.m. Okay, and now you're telling me
tea.
That's not what you say on this video, okay?
I want to see this video.
Okay, well, I'm not going to show you the body cam. I'm just telling you that that's what's on there. There's reports that Wes came to the house that morning and you said that Steve was at the walk-in clinic. He wasn't at the walk-in clinic.
Steve didn't want to see Wes anymore.
Okay, but Steve wasn't at the walk-in clinic.
He was at the hospital.
He wasn't at the hospital. He wasn't anywhere yet. Because
He was
it's been
at the
verified. He
hospital.
wasn't when Wes was there, okay?
He just left with the ambulance when Wes showed up there.
That's not what's been reported to us. Wes was there prior to.
Yeah, the timestamps prove that.
I want a lawyer.
Okay, that's fine.
This contradiction proves the clinic trip never happened. Ina claims Steve was at the walk-in clinic when Wes came by, but the confirmed timeline shows he never left the apartment. There's no way to explain that away. No lawyer, no excuse, no alternate version of reality makes her story line up with the actual timestamps detectives already have.
Am I being arrested?
Nope, you're not being arrested. We're just talking. So, but if you want a lawyer, we can stop talking right now. That's fine.
But I'm telling you the God honest truth. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I wish I was there. I wish I was with him every second of the day that day. I wish I watched every single, but I'm not his goddamn mom.
You asked for a lawyer, Ina, so we're just going to end this now. Okay, I'm not going to talk anymore. All right?
You guys are so unbelievable.
This way, right here. There, I'll walk around.
Oh my God.
Ina Knoyer was arrested on October 30th, 2023, and charged with Class AA felony murder for poisoning 51-year-old Steve Riley with antifreeze. Prosecutors didn't buy her heat stroke story, and neither did the judge. She was held as the case moved forward, and by May of 2024, she dropped the act entirely and entered a guilty plea. The court noted her motive was tied directly to the fantasy of a $30 million inheritance she thought she'd claim as Steve's common-law wife, a status North Dakota doesn't even recognize. The plea set the stage for sentencing, and a courtroom full of Steve's family arrived ready to tell the judge exactly what Ina had taken from them. There was no dramatic multi-week trial. Ina's own lies, Steve's toxicology, and the kitchen counter chemistry happening inside that apartment forced her into a corner. She pled guilty before jury selection could begin, but sentencing still played out like a full reckoning. Prosecutors laid out the evidence in open court: the ethylene glycol in Steve's system, the Coors Light bottle and plastic mug in the home containing traces of antifreeze, the bright green liquid in the repurposed Windex bottle, and the witnesses who said Ina had talked about poisoning him before. They explained Steve had planned to break up with her once the inheritance cleared, a detail she knew, and one that prosecutors said pushed her to act on the day he collapsed at the airport. The defense had nowhere to go. There was no mystery killer, or heat stroke, or miracle doctor who never existed. Just a collapsing story and a mountain of forensic evidence. Then came the victim impact statements. Steve's sister, Stephanie Gonzalez, called Ina a heinous person with no soul and described a family drowning in grief. His son Ryan explained how he had just begun repairing his relationship with his father before Ina cut that chance short forever. The courtroom didn't need a jury to understand the damage. The evidence, the motive, and the heartbreak were all right there. On May 26, 2024, Ina Kanoya was formally convicted after entering her guilty plea to Class AA felony murder. No lesser charges, no negotiated downgrade. She stood convicted of deliberately poisoning Steve with antifreeze. The courtroom was silent as the judge accepted the plea. But Steve's family made it clear. A guilty verdict didn't erase the loss. She was sentenced on October 17, 2024, to 50 years with 25 to serve and the remaining 25 suspended, followed by 10 years of supervised probation. She was also ordered to pay $3,455 in restitution to Steve's family. The judge didn't mince words, pointing out that Ina poisoned a man she'd been with for a decade, all for money that never existed. She'll serve her time in the North Dakota prison system, eligible for release only after completing a quarter-century behind bars. Ina built her life on a lie, a fake inheritance, a fake marriage, and a fake story about how Steve died. But in the end, reality caught up. Steve's family lost a father, a brother, and a friend. Ina lost her freedom, chasing money that wasn't even real. The justice system can't bring Steve back, but it made sure the person who poisoned him will never rewrite his story again. If you want more breakdowns of real interrogation psychology and the cases behind them, subscribe to the channel. Hit like to support the work, and drop a comment telling me which case you want covered next.